These pants didn't have lint on them when I took them out of the dryer. I did hold my cat today though. So I don't know if this is cat hair or if I accidentally put my cat through the dryer again. Because that would mean I also put her through the washer. No wonder she wasn't moving around much today. And by moving, I mean breathing. I'm just glad I got these new shoes. I was running out of shoe boxes. Anyways, I'm glad that Matt talked about the cat that got its head stuck in a mayonnaise jar. I'll try to keep better track of my cats next time. I hate it when my cat's head gets stuck in a mayonnaise jar. It's hard to put the lid back on. Anyways, as somebody who really loves cats, I feel obligated to educate people about some of the myths that have been going around. Myth number 1, no matter how high they fall from, cats always land on their feet. That's actually true. Trust me. Yeah, if it were to ever literally rain cats and dogs, the cats would be all right. Myth number 2, cats have 9 lives. No, they don't. Trust me. Myth number 3, if a black cat crosses your path, you get 7 years of bad luck. That's actually true. So if you see a black cat crossing your path, just speed up a little. Alright, myth number 4. Cats don't like getting wet. Yeah, but more than that, cats don't like being lit on fire. Nobody ever talks about that one. Myth number 5. If you cut off a cat's whiskers, they lose their sense of balance. That's messed up. Who would do that? Anyways, on a lighter note, I accidentally killed a black man in a pawn shop. I bumped into him diagonally. Chest jokes. A lot of people ask me what year I am in school, and I tell them that I'm a junior or senior, and they say, oh, so you'll be starting your senior year? I say, no, I'm a junior senior. I've been a senior for 3 years. There's a reason that this school has a credit limit. They don't want this to happen to you. I used to smile before I had 130 credits. And after 160 credits, I gave up on dating. Consequently, I started smiling again. After 190 credits, I stopped looking both ways before I crossed the street. I have so many credits that if I failed all my classes this semester, it wouldn't change my GPA. Someone recently said to me, so what was it like going to Miss Stilrick's college? I said, oh, I don't know, I wasn't here. I was on my mission. But, you know, it hasn't been too bad here the past couple of years because I've had a handicap parking permit. And there's usually about 10 open spots wherever I need to park on campus. But one day, they were all full. And I thought, what the heck is this? Bring a cripple to school day? I had to park 3 parking lots away. Maybe so late I had to run to class. Let's see. So byu-idaho has recently confirmed that if one of your roommates dies during the semester, you automatically get A's in all of your classes. My question is, does it matter how they die? That reminds me of a scripture. Greater love hath no man than this, that a man lay down his life for his friends. Now, some of you probably think that it's not appropriate to joke about death, but it is finals week next week. Can't think of anything more appropriate. For one of my classes, for one of my finals, my teacher told me to write an essay. So I wrote a letter to one of my homies back in California. Yeah, I was confused too, especially when my teacher told me to turn in my essay. I said he's already in jail. That's why I wrote him a letter. And some of my friends complain about byu-Idaho. They say there's not enough diversity. I don't know what they're talking about. There are all kinds of white people. So, does everyone here know what Grape-Nuts are? Yeah. Does anybody here like Grape-Nuts? Because the joke's on you. Grapes don't have nuts. But maybe the name Grape-Nuts is less about the cereal and more about the people that eat them. I never ate Grape-Nuts as a child because my parents loved me. I eventually started eating Grape-Nuts because I wanted to be healthy. I always think it's funny if you walk into a room and somebody just finishes pouring the milk over their Grape-Nuts, and you can't tell if they're eating Grape-Nuts or just about to drink milk like a cat. And on the box it says, Grape-Nuts contains 10 essential vitamins and minerals, which makes sense because rocks are made out of minerals. Yeah, I used to wonder what Grape-Nuts were made out of until I accidentally got some sand in my mouth. Which gave me an idea for a new cereal. I'm calling it Sandcastle Crunch. It could come with little prizes in the bag. I'm not sure what they'd be, but just make sure your kids have had a tetanus shot. Yeah. So I recently had a friend over, so I showed him my year supply of Grape-Nuts. He said, "How do you know one box will last you a whole year?" I said, "Because it expires in 12 months." Yeah, a lot of people find this out the hard way. They think, "Oh, I'm so hungry, I can eat a full bowl of Grape-Nuts." Then you start eating it, and somehow it like multiplies in the bowl, like gremlins when they get wet. But I can't eat Grape-Nuts anymore because a couple of years ago I discovered that I had a gluten intolerance. My friends found out and they felt really bad for me, so they brought me over some cookies. Because they're dumb. That's alright, I found out that one of them had HIV, so I sent him a get well soon card. Anyways, that reminds me of a joke. I'm wondering if metal detectors in airports cause cancer, and if they do, is it automatically terminal cancer? Anyways, it can be really difficult adjusting to a gluten-free lifestyle. For instance, it's really hard not to stick out when you're eating a peanut butter and jelly sandwich without bread. Can't wrap that in lettuce. Trust me. And after 2 years of not eating gluten, my standards for taste are gone. Sometimes I'll be like, oh, some dirt. I mean, if any of you have been to a gluten-free birthday party and tasted the cake, you know what I'm talking about. Yeah, so for my birthday, I got a box of gluten-free crackers. And I was really hungry, but I didn't have anything to eat with them. And I couldn't remember if we used cheese or peanut butter on the mousetraps in the garage. I eventually ran out of crackers and wanted to get some more, so I searched for gluten-free crackers on Google, but it just returned a bunch of white guys with celiac disease. Anyways, as a cripple, I've been swimming a lot. And the other day I noticed this girl, she was swimming. She was so fast, she was passing up all the guys. And when she got out of the pool, I just happened to notice, and wow. I thought, I'd home teach that twice a month. Yeah. So I went up to her and I told her that I thought she was beautiful. And she said, "Don't objectify me." I said, "I'm not objectifying you, I'm simply observing you objectively." She said, "Whatever, I had to go study for my engineering exam." And you know, I know that God loves everybody, but I think he has favorites. I think what would have been more useful than an MTC would be an RMTC. And instead of the White Handbook for Missionaries, they could just hand out copies of my journal. Like, here, read this, and don't do anything he did. Yeah, I remember my first blind date. I went to her house to pick her up, but when she opened the door, I couldn't see her face because she was 7.5 feet tall. I'm just glad my car had a sunroof. Yeah, 7.5 feet tall and built like an ox. I didn't know Andre the Giant had kids. Anyways, she told me her name was KK. I said, "Is that really your name?" And she said, "No, my real name's Katie, but I'm one of 3 Katies in my apartment, so I just go by KK." I said, "What do you call the third one?" Anyways, she must have really liked horses because that's all she talked about the whole night. But you know, I think that's great. I mean, finally, a horse and a rider that could take turns. She asked me if I liked horses. I said, "Yeah." She said, "Oh, really? What kind?" I said, "Teriyaki?" Anyways, I was on another date with this other girl, and right when we got to the restaurant, she told me that she had just found out that she was adopted. I said, "Oh my gosh, that must be hard." She said, "No, I'm okay with it. I was getting sick of the orphanage." One time I was on a first date, and the girl told me that her mom used to give her Ritalin as a child. And you know, that's fine. I'm not judging anybody here, but that's probably not something you should talk about on a first date. My mom used to give me a little rat poison to calm me down. I don't go telling everybody. Yeah, my last girlfriend dumped me, and I lost 6 hours of sleep that night. I just kept thinking of all the exciting things I could do with my time. Yeah. There was this one girl I dated whose mom liked me more than she did. Don't you hate it when that happens? Anyways, she ended up dumping me, but you know, sometimes one door has to shut for another one to open. Anyways, I have some things here I want to show you. This is, most of you are probably no longer wondering why I'm still single. And some of you are probably thinking, nice purple yo-yo, did you get that from like a 12-year-old girl? But don't worry, I saw her a couple weeks later, and her mom had already gotten her a new yo-yo. Yeah, it's even better than the last one. Let's try this out. Yeah. Oh. Reminds me of my ex-girlfriend. She's never coming back to me. And it's round. Just the way I like them. Alright, I'm going to show you a trick. Let me get this yo-yo back up. No, that wasn't the trick. I was just getting my yo-yo back up. Alright, you might have seen something like this, so here we go. It's a new trick. It's called putting the dog to sleep. All right, for my last trick, this trick is called splitting the atom. But don't worry, I call it something else when I'm in Japan.